The task of accelerating radical economic transformation is increasingly linked to that of ensuring that our people continue to live in conditions of safety and security. The South African government takes its responsibility of ensuring safer communities very seriously. The plans that have been outlined during the State of the Nation address for intervention in the socio-economic conditions of our people will assist us in addressing some of the underlying causes of insecurity. The cluster has outlined various policy interventions in response to developing trends and causes of insecurity in our society. Recent events where our people have at times taken to the streets have necessitated a relook into the functioning, structuring, and capacity of our criminal justice system. The National Crime Prevention Strategy adopted in 1996 requires a review to address new challenges that confront the criminal justice system. While lawful protests are provided for in the country's legislative framework of national security concerns are cases of premeditated violence that at times accompany the protests. The incidents of the Marikana tragedy, the violence and torching of schools that erupted in Vuwani, and the damage to institutions of higher learning have overstretched the criminal justice system, and we have to plan better for these kinds of incidents. The work of the cluster of ensuring that all people in South Africa are and feel safe will continue in earnest in this year. However, government alone cannot defeat the scourge of crime and corruption. We reiterate the call on all people and sectors in South Africa to join the fight against crime and corruption. The fight against crime cannot be separated from the need for transformation of the socio and economic circumstances of our people by tackling the three challenges of unemployment, poverty, and the unequal distribution of the country's wealth. Each sector of our society has to play its part in creating conditions where crime may no longer thrive.
The minister also said that work is continuing in getting to the bottom of underlying tensions between some communities and foreign nationals.
The Interministerial Committee on Migration, led by the Minister in the Presidency, Jeff Radebe, continues with the work of addressing the underlying causes of the tensions between communities and the foreign nationals. Some of the challenges that have been identified and being addressed are the strict implementation of our labor relations policies as they pertain to foreign nationals, the implementation of the laws that govern business licenses, the country's border management, and the country's migration policies in general. Whilst this work continues, we urge our communities to isolate the criminal elements who are hijacking the concerns of communities to loot shops and attack innocent people just because they come from other countries. Anyone who feels that their rights are being infringed upon should report to their nearest police station. Our country has the institutional and legislative framework to peacefully resolve any challenge without resorting to violence. We want to assure all people in our country that the law enforcement agencies are monitoring the situation on the ground closely. A situation where people take the law into their own hands or incite others to commit violence will not be allowed to continue.
Our reporter Sipho Stierman was at the briefing. He joins us on the line now. Good afternoon, Sipho. A number of issues arose at the briefing this morning. Could you take us through just some of what transpired there?
A very good afternoon to you and our viewers at home. Indeed, it was a marathon media briefing going almost for 2 hours, and you would understand because it involved about 3 ministers and the acting National Police Commissioner, General Khomotso Phahlane. Of course, we also had Minister of Home Affairs, Malusi Gigaba, and Minister of State Security, David Mahlobo, and of course the chair of the security cluster, that is Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula. And the briefing really was dominated largely by the current matter affecting foreign nationals clashing with some of the locals, and we were told that the security officials are on top of this matter in the sense that Since the protests and some of the violence have broken out, police have conducted raids in these areas that were affected by these clashes between foreign nationals and locals. That is in Johannesburg and here in Tshwane. And we also told that some businesses were also raided by officials, and that is where they actually found that some businesses are contravening the labor laws in the sense that they have employed some undocumented foreign nationals. Now, that is one of the big concerns that have come out from the protesting locals, saying that foreign nationals are allegedly stealing jobs, and the fact that we have some businesses, especially in the hospitality sector, that is employing undocumented foreign nationals at a much lower rate. That has been, the Minister of Home Affairs says that is not helping the situation. If I can just give you the numbers, telling us that 56 businesses were raided and up to 7 employers are actually facing charges, managers are facing charges for engaging in those acts of employing undocumented foreign nationals. We also heard that in the past financial year, about over 30,000 foreign nationals were sent back to their homes. This is undocumented foreign nationals. And another issue that, of course, came up was from the Minister of State Security, David Mahloba, who told us that social media is also fueling the anxiety that is in the air regarding locals and foreign nationals, in the sense that there are certain messages that are flying through, apps like WhatsApp, where some foreign nationals are saying, let's take up arms and let's fight back against South Africans. He's saying some of those messages are actually not true, and that there are some forces behind them that are trying to fuel what is currently happening. We also did, of course, have Minister Nosiviwe speaking against some leaders that have been making some comments that he says certain leaders are making comments that could be fueling more xenophobia, and saying that is not the way to go. We also heard the defense minister saying that they've deployed some SANDF members to monitor all the borders across the country in various provinces, saying that they're trying to assist to ensure that there is also adequate security at our borders. But of course, this comes at a very high cost, and they will try to increase number, they will try to increase numbers as much as they can going forward. But also, Minister Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula touch on the current burning issue, that is of social grants, saying that the security cluster remains in place to assist the social development department should it need assistance if it chooses to distribute the grants using different methods, such as using cash vehicles to pay some of the recipients.
All right, thank you very much. That is our reporter, Sipho Stearman, coming to us from Pretoria, where he earlier attended the media briefing of the Justice, Crime Prevention and Security Cluster.